Is Season of Discovery worth your time? Since the announcement at BlizzCon, there's been tons of excitement surrounding the unknowns of Season of Discovery, and it's been a short few days since launch, and the vast majority of the unknowns is now known. So taking everything I've experienced since launch, of which, by the way, I've completely no-lifed, and probably like many of you have sunk in far too many hours already. But taking all we know, should you really bother with it? Without trying to keep you on the edge of your seat for 10 minutes before I tell you what I think personally, I'm just going to open with it. I think it's the best piece of work in the Warcraft franchise that Blizzard has done for as long as I can remember. It does have its negatives, and I think those are actually going to show more and more over the next couple of weeks, because the discovery aspect of the game is gone. So what we're essentially left with just 4 days after launch is a version of the game that needs to be able to stand out with having the unknowns of rune acquisition. The good thing is though, some of these classes and specs still do have a lot of unknowns, in terms of what rune combinations work best for each boss in Blackfathom Deeps, or even just inside dungeons in general. That's something I'm even personally experimenting with on my mage, and the most amazing thing is, this is only phase 1. Everything we've already experienced or are currently experiencing now, in terms of rune discovery, crafting recipes, and efficient ways of doing things, is going to happen multiple times over the season's lifetime. Now, when I was leveling the first time round, there's lots of things in Season of Discovery that I just wished I knew. And I'm actually going to put a video out in the next day or two going over those things that might help you if you're doing your first character or you plan on doing an alt. Generally, some important things that you might skip early on, such as the new reputation, where if you're not aware, at Honoured you're going to get a new rune. Now, there are quick ways of doing this, but this ain't a reputation guide, so that'll be coming very, very soon. If you don't want to miss it, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And while you're down there, you might as well click like as well. Now, in terms of the leveling experience, the first character you do will probably be the best one ever. And that's because no rune was known. Everyone in your guild would have been helping out. Everyone in your Discord will be telling you where you can find a rune that they've just discovered. And obviously, things like the class Discords. Now we've got a full list of them up on Wowhead. Whenever you start a new character, it's going to be pretty much just a mundane checklist of things that you're going to need to do on the way up. And in some cases, you're going to have a look and you're going to be like, I really want that ability, even though it's so far higher level, you're probably going to die running to it. But you're just going to get someone higher level to help you out, guide you through the zone to be able to get a really powerful rune as early as possible. When that wasn't an option, it definitely made things really interesting. But like I say, that's why really the first time round will be the most special. But in terms of speed, the leveling is not too bad, because we are only getting to level 25 and I'm already working on my second and third ult, because clearly I've got problems. But my main is a healing mage, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Healing on a mage is, it does feel as challenging as I was saying in all the podcasts building up to actual launch. And going from RFC at around level 14 all the way up to max level raiding BFD, it is proving to be quite a challenge. And there's so many different runes that you can use that working out what combination is actually the best just isn't easy. The thing I really love about the fact that 25 is, whilst the journey to 25 can feel a little bit slow because it is vanilla leveling speeds, there is tons to do to the point where actually getting to 25 doesn't need to be the primary focus. Before you step into BFD, whilst you absolutely can go in there freshly dinged with no gear, you're likely going to want to get a few bits, so why not, when you get to level 20, start trying to get your pre-bisque gear. Do some Wailing Caverns, do some Dead Mines, do some Shadowfang Keep. You might as well get gear and experience at exactly the same time. The same thing goes with the new reputation. Working on that on your way to level 25 actually just makes sense. I've heard of multiple people that have got bored before they reach level 25 just because of how long it does actually take. And I would say if you're one of those, just chill out. Just get some dungeons done. You know, there's no rush to 25. You're only rushing to do BFD, which is quite fun, don't get me wrong. And actually, some of the bosses are very challenging, but I think the biggest challenge is working out the tactics and exactly how the mechanics work. Once you've got that nailed down, it should be a comfortable clear every 3 days. What does feel really fresh with Season of Discovery, though, is the level up raid. The fact that we're doing something that feels familiar, but the loot rewards are so exciting. Even things still getting discovered in the raid today, when it's actually probably been cleared thousands of times already, which what I'm referring to there is the mana oil and the sharpening stones. The recipe was posted, like its location where you can get it on Wowhead literally a few hours ago. I wouldn't say there's much more to discover in Blackfathom Deeps now, but still, it's a really enjoyable raid to do once every few days, and that's about all I've got to say about it. I think ultimately phase 1 is absolutely perfect for leveling ults. Getting numerous characters to level 25, working out which one you really want to go the distance with before phase 2 comes. Now all the runes are discovered and you can easily go and pick up the ones that are going to help you get to 25. I'm definitely enjoying my second and third character in terms of speed, in terms of actually getting to max level. a lot more than probably I did the first character, even though the first character was a lot more exciting. But your second character onwards will just be quicker. Now, the interesting thing is when Phase 2 comes out, the leveling will be quicker. They did say that they was going to add accelerated XP in some way, shape or form to the previous band of content. How that looks, I don't know, but me personally, as I say, I feel like Phase 1 is actually the perfect time to be leveling alts. Because in the grand scheme of things, at level 25, there isn't an abundance of content to do. They've even actually made some of the content quite short, because doing things that took me by surprise, like raising the actual level required to be able to get your next rank of crafting, so that would be what takes you to 225, we're only limited to getting 150 at the moment, and actually getting to 150 in any of these professions is not really much of a long task. I'm sure there's still things yet to be discovered, but most of the things that we had big questions around when we was looking at the data mined items before launch, all of that sort of stuff has already been found now. So going all the way back to the start, why did I say it is the best piece of work that Blizzard have done for the Warcraft franchise? Well, I think they've discovered a winning formula. I think bringing people together to run all over the world in such a familiar setting to find things that we've already used before in terms of abilities that are not new, they're just reused, but brand new puzzles or ways of finding things, I think is absolutely amazing, and I think the entire season is going to be really exciting. I do see it having highs and lows depending on how long each phase takes, because a lot of people are going to smash out the majority of the stuff they want to get done at level 25 fairly quickly, and then it will become raid loggy. I just want to say though, I don't see any problem with that whatsoever. When I said there's not a lot to do at 25 earlier, obviously you've got PvP, the Ashen Vow event, Warsong Gulch. You can do dungeons as much as you want, playing around with new rune setups and ultimately just going in there with your BFD gear trying to pump, and then BFD every 3 days. I must admit though, getting excited when you see a blue item drop because you know you're stuck at level 25 for a while, that does feel pretty good. I think Season of Discovery is going to be the first of its kind, and if you haven't already taken the plunge and logged in because you can't beat the Q boss, then you definitely need to give it a go, because honestly, this is the most fun I've had on World of Warcraft for a long time. Tell me in the comments what you've been enjoying most about Season of Discovery. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. This was just my sort of post-launch thoughts, if you like. I'm sure some of my opinions will change over time, but plenty more videos to come, so I'll see you on the next one.